But thank you for the heads up, brother. But in the final biblical mention of Ham, the psalmist again synonymously uses the term Egypt and Ham to describe the same people as he summarizes the faithless behavior of the children of Israel. Okay, now it's working again. They forgot God, their Savior, which had done great things in Egypt, wondrous works in the land of Ham, and terrible things by the sea. Psalms 106:21 and 22. At least one and possible two psalmists clearly perceived the Egyptians as being Hamitic, you know? But hopefully one day we won't be afraid. So I just wanted to hit that highlight. I'm not going to go into chapter 2, you know, because it's just so much, you know? Most of the patriarchs, Abraham's sons, grew up to be misnomer misnomer black men. When I say this, and I'm saying this to show brothers and sisters that you got to stop, you know, or we have to understand the text and talk about this and talk about this conversation. Well, we have it. I don't care if you Muslim or whatever you say. I mean, even Farrakhan talk about the biblical scriptures. And what I'm saying, I'm basing my understanding and what I'm talking about strictly Bible. I'm not coming from no other book or saying no one's better than no one. I never said that. But what I'm doing is showing young people and others, and even our brothers and sisters that's preachers, why you not preaching this? The most patriarch Abraham's sons grew up misnomered to be black men, though Isaac, Abraham's sole Shemitic heir by his elderly wife Sarah, and one of the protogenitors of the Messiah. Is Abraham's son best known to the Jewish Christians? Abraham was the biological father of 7 sons by misnomer black women, according to the Bible. According to the Bible, y'all. Ishmael was his eldest son by Hagar, a Hamitic Egyptian woman. After Sarah's death, Abraham produced 6 sons by another misnomer black woman named Keturah, which means incense, whose Abraham married. Read it in Genesis 25 and 1 and 2. It reads, then again, Abraham took a wife, and her name was what? Keturah. Why are we going to talk about this? Why we don't talk about this? And she bare him Zimram, and Jokshan, and Medan, and Medina, and Ishbak, and Suah. These 6 men plus Ishmael, the sons of Abraham and Hagar, are the misnomer black sons of Abraham. Tell me this not. This the Bible now. Though Ishmael appears in the Holy Bible and in the Quran. And in the Quran. That's why I be laughing at my Muslim brothers and I said, are y'all crazy? And that's how they got us. Fight like this Crips and Blood, or this Paru, or this red or blue, or bang it over or some religion. That's how they got brothers straight up twisted. Twisted up. One of my misnomer Arab brothers said, he said, I seen some brothers, because, a lot of my other colleagues, they follow social media. He said, I seen brothers going to out of the country to study history that ain't even near history from other people. It said, it's sad. They're like, and they have a scholar right here. You must learn your culture. When you learn your culture, you will learn your spirituality. You will understand it. You have a clear understanding. You don't have to leave outside to learn what's inside. You will get it from your own. There's no disrespect. but Ishmael appears in the Holy Bible and the Quran. He is not depicted as a brother in any religion. Indeed, the Quran contains more specific references to Isaac, Ishmael's what? Younger half brother, than it does to Ishmael, the man from whom the Muslim prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, traced his genealogy as a descendant of what? Abraham. However, since the Islamic faith generally does not believe in visually depicting the personalities of the Quran, there is no possible way for Muslims to illustrate Ishmael as a so-called black man or a member of any other tribe. See? No disrespect. No disrespect. Because we can get into the clock of destiny. Perhaps Ishmael's obscurity is due to his being a child of circumstances, more specifically, the lapse of faith of Abraham, who is known to Christians as the father of faith. As the eldest son of Abraham, Ishmael inherited a great legacy. Remember? Remember that? Though his descendants did not receive the spiritual bounty of the sons of Isaac, Ishmael is an Old Testament patriarch claimed by Islam, a major world religion whose Muslim adherents far outnumber those whom call themselves Jews. Right? I mean, Stevie Wonder blind enough to see what I'm saying. No disrespect. Ishmael, not a Jew, but still Abraham's son. The birth of Ishmael was a direct result of a human attempt to bring the supernatural word of God to fruition. Remember, instructing Abraham, later renamed Abram, to leave what? His home country and relative. God promised the childless Abraham. When he left, he didn't have no kids, right? I mean, come on. Am I right or am I wrong? And I will make thee what? A great nation. And I will bless thee and make thy name great. And thou shalt be a blessing. When he left his own town area, he was childless. Am I right or am I wrong? I mean, come on, y'all. We got to think about this now. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curse thee. And in them and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. Genesis 12 and 2 and 3. The phrase all families of the earth includes the children of Ham and of Japhet, the father of the Gentiles, aka the other people. It's just the scriptures. I ain't here to disrespect no one, and that's what the scriptures say. That's why I be saying people that's prejudiced and biased, the scripture is going to always prove you wrong. If we basing it on the scripture, I have to. It says, and I will bless them and bless thee and curse them that curse thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. Genesis 12 and 2 and 3. The phrase all families of the earth. It includes Ham and Japhet. It includes the father of the Gentiles, aka the whatever you want to call it. It's just what it is. So I can go on and on and on with it, man, but I just wanted to touch on that. But I have a little treat for y'all. Let me see if I can turn my camera around real fast. I got a little treat for y'all. See if I can turn my camera around. Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't know if anybody ever seen this right here. I know a lot of my muftis have it. I know a lot of the college students have it because I lectured this and I passed it out when I lectured about this. This right here is the Igbo Hebrew. And before I give you a little preface of this, Can you see? This is the European guy that went there. When I say, and let me break it down a little bit of who he is. Rabbi Yuda Takuda Ben Sherman, Chris Shoemaker, that's his name, whose title in Igbo land is Chief Odom Bara Anna Igbo Nawi Di Uta, was raised in a Christian home and accepted the Messiah Yahshua, Jesus, at a tender age of 6, and dedicated his life to the full service of him at the age of 13. From that point on, Rabbi Yehuda has been involved in a multitude of various ministries, from churches and synagogues to youth, street camp, jail, and nursing home ministries, to name a few. He is a graduate of the Free Will Baptist Bible College in Nashville, Tennessee, and has received his BA in Bible and Mission in 1996, and his Hatafat Dam Brith Jewish conversion performed on him in 2004. He was trained under 3 separate rabbis and ordained in ordination Shemshak at the Nastari Masonic Rabbi by AD International, October of 2010. Rabbi Yehuda Takudu, or Takwu, is a Israeli Igbo researcher linking the Igbo to the lost tribes of Israel, and has been to Igbo land twice. Was given a title in 2010, which was confirmed by Izzy Chakwimika Iri in Abu Ghad during the 2011 Oval Festival. He has also attended and spoke at the 2011 and 2012 World Igbo Congress in Toronto, Canada, and Orlando, Florida. So, watch this. Hold on, I got something. Let me show y'all something. And you see the European brother, right? With your own eyes. Now let's go back to and let me just break a little bit of this down, because it's in Igbo. It's in Igbo and also in English. It took me some time to read it all in Igbo and understand, but I'm not going to break it down like I'm going to read it in English. Igbo people all over the world, greetings. Shalom. Blessings to Chakwu, Abima. Praise be to Yahshua, Jesus. It is my prayer and hope that this book will be a tremendous blessing from God. I pray that this book will help all Igbos to understand the plans of God concerning them. I also pray that the true identity of the Igbo people will be made known and solidified in the world. May God of Abraham help Igbo people to take their prophetic destiny and rightful place in Israel beside their brothers Judah and Levi at the tribe of God, or Gad, in Yahshua, Jesus' name. Amen. Gad and his sons. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Genesis 46:16. And the sons of Gad, Ziphion and Haggai, Suni and Esbon, Eri and Arodi, Arodi, or Aradi, and Areli, or Arali, Areli. This is evident that Gad's sons, or descendants of Gad's sons, Eri, Arel, and Ordai, prior to the Exodus, traveled with members of various other tribes of Israel, such as Judah, Levi, Zebulun, to Nigeria, and became the Igbo people. There is also evidence that even after the Exodus, at the different points in history before and after Babylonian and Assyrian captivities, the Gadites and other Israeli tribes made their way down to Nigeria to join their brothers, whom they knew were already there. Oh yeah. So, what Israel and others say about Indi Igbo, or Indai Igbo. We know since at least 1789 AD that Jews have been interested in the possible Igbo-Israel connection when a former Igbo slave named Oloda Equino, and I don't have time to pull his book out, but I have those books for y'all. We converted all of them to ebooks. This is history. Living in London, first proposed the Igbo-Israel relationship in his autobiography. Anglican missionary G.T. Baston, the first to minister to the Igbo, wrote many books which claim and connected the Igbos to the tribes of Israel. Several editions of the Encyclopedia Britannica in 1929 connect the Igbo people to Gad. A Torah contemporary on Shemot in 1922 made the Igbo-God connection also. Some Igbos, including Dr. Akidith, recalls Israelis visiting Igbo land and investigating such claims during the Biafran War, the Biafran War, under direction of Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin on October of 1995, and in May of 1997, under Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel government sent delegates looking for a long-lost brother, Eri. They went to Nigeria state to state, town to town, tribe to tribe, quietly observed to see if any recognized the Hebraic traits or customs would pop out. And when they made it to Abu Ghad, their search ended, as they saw the Igbo there displaying Hebraicness in their culture. They even saw the ancient stone throne of Gad, and immediately recognized the script at the foot of the throne as Paleo-Hebrew. They also visited many sites that have been connected to Eri and the Igbo people. And it was documented on a film later known on Israel TV. I got the film still. I still got it on CD. You know? It's a copy of the documentary by Ezi A.E. Chukwanika, Eri. On March 28, 1996, Israelis ambassador to Nigeria visited Neri and cried, acknowledging that the Igbos was among the lost tribe of Israel. Before he left, he gave Ezi Neri a gift of olives and oil, stating that such gifts were only given to kings of Israel. On October 23, 1997, Yitzhak David, an American Jew and program director of King Solomon Sephardic Federation, was televised visiting the king in Niue. Also a king I have personally visited myself, Igwe Kenneth Orezi III. It was said during that visit by Zagi David, another delegate, which came with the KSSF after much research work on the origin of the Igbos. The archaeological findings indicate that Israel is the true home, and they should make a quick comeback for historical reunion. The wild landscapes of Africa, its exotic rhythms and mass dance provide the picture's background for this tribe, who believes itself to be the descendants of the Israelite tribe of Gad. They interpret their name Igbo as a mispronouncing Hebrew. Until today, the members pray to Chukwu Abima, Abraham's God. The Igbos, well known for their struggle and independence in the Biafran War, are now considered the Jews of Nigeria and have contributed greatly to the intellectual and economic development in the country. Outreach to Nigerian Jews by the wider Jewish world community gained official status from 1995 to 1997, when Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin sent a team to Nigeria in search of the 10 lost tribes of Israel. Western rabbis and educators such as Rabbi Gorin, Gorin, have visited the community at times, and Jewish communities in the West support those in Nigeria by sending books, computers, religious articles, etc. However, the state of Israel has to date not officially recognized the Igbos as the lost tribe. In 2004 and 2008, Rabbi Yaakov Berman made numerous trips to Nigeria to help Israeli community with Jewish community development. In a White House memo dated Tuesday, January 28, 1969, the President Nixon, former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger, described the Igbos as the wandering Jews of West African, gifted, aggressive, westernized, at best envied, resented, but mostly despised by their neighbors in the Federation. Foreign Relations Document, Volume E5, Document on Africa, 1969 to 1972. Israel Today originally reported in 2006 how Chief Rabbinite recognized the Igbos as sons of Israel, descendants from Gad. And indeed, there is an Igbo God community in Tel Aviv, Israel, who have their own synagogue. Haaretz magazine, in October 12, 2005, article declared that the Igbos to be sons of Israel through Gad. Professor Elizabeth Ishii, Isichei, an Australian historian, and Melville Meservitz, y'all know who Melville Meservitz is, an American writer, all strongly believe there is enough evidence to link the Igbo of Nigeria to the Israeli tribe of Gad. Among Igbo authorities, Professor O. Alizi and Remy Ilona also believe without a doubt that the Igbos are described of Gad as well as other tribes of Israel. So let's deal with some cultures. We got a little time. Among Igbo authorities, Professor, I got you, brother. I got you. Among Igbo authorities, Professor Aliz and Remy, they believe without a doubt of what I'm saying. What do you say? Wow. I got a brother on here said his daughter wrote about this and she didn't even know this part. When he talked about they got the book of Olada Ikwuna, the former Igbo slave. He said, "You blowing my mind right now." No, he was like, "Wow, I can't believe history like this don't go viral, but it's just popular. Long as you here, brother. That's all I can say. Long as you here." And thank you for the donation. Long as you here, that's all what matters to me. Long as you getting something out of it. And your family getting something out of it. So gratitude. But anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. Where was I at? Okay. Okay. So, cultural evidence linking the Igbo to Gad. So, we already talked about in 1789, Olaudah Ikwuna, Olaudah an Igbo and former slave who lived in London, said in his autobiography that the Igbos were one of the lost tribes of Israel and cited the many identical cultural similarities between them and the Jews. When the missionaries came to Nigeria to evangelize, colonize, they were dumbfounded to discover that the Igbo people practiced many Hebraic Jewish customs, which they could not have learned from anyone else. It had to come from the ancient practices of their people from antiquity, for they had no Bibles, and they met no one with a Bible until missionaries came. See, these are facts. When I talk about people take culture and make it religion, that's why I said when you know your culture, then it's a wrap. And that's what we teach here at our brotherhood. You should want to be a part of this. They found that the Igbos practiced eating animals that met biblically clean requirements, as well as the complete draining of blood from the animals, as well as other laws concerning kosher or kosher animals. Just like, I don't diss nobody, just like Elijah Muhammad, eat to live. And then soon in there, it talk about eating meat, but doing it, eating a kosher, the certain practices. When I'm saying, is that the case, then this comes from a certain culture. Come on, man. Has a concept of clean and unclean, acceptable and abominable or taboo, animal sacrifice like unto the Levitical sacrifice system, belief in a supreme, all-powerful deity, Chukwu, above all deities, circumcision on the eighth day, as well as had the naming ceremony of the eighth-day-old child, giving names that bear the name of or title of the God within, giving the name that bear the name or title of God within. Separation of menstruating women, the keeping of a lunar calendar. Man, it's so much. Shemitah and Jubilee year, the annulment of debt and servitude every 7 and 50 years, burying the dead facing east, the direction of Jerusalem and the promised land, sitting Shiva, 7-day mourning period, where one sits on low stools remaining unkept and shave their heads in grief, belief in resurrection, sending the bodies home of Igbos who died outside of Igbo land to be buried like Joseph and Jacob, desiring not to be buried in a pagan or foreign land, hospitability, or how can I say, I like to say having good manners, because being hospitable is great, but then that also reflect on not just inside the home, but outside the home as well. Like unto traditions and legends known of Abraham offering water, meal, and lodging and travel, Liverite type marriages, brothers marrying deceased brothers, wives, all these things, that's what it was. These among other Jewish things. So one Igbo man named Abraham, a cantor of Nasiri Jews community in Nigeria, said, in a nutshell, every law as stated in the Torah was being practiced by our forefathers before the advent of Christianity, except that our forefathers went into idol worship, but they kept the tradition as was handed over to them by their forefathers. Archaeological evidence, Paleo-Hebrew scripts have been found in various places in Igbo territories of Nigeria. Drawings like unto Mogen David Star of David has been found in various places of Igbo land prior to missionary arrival to Nigeria. It's a stone throne at Abu Ghad, which confirm Paleo ancient Hebrew inscriptions at the foot of the throne that indicates that the throne was constructed in honor of Gad. There was also an onyx stone found in Igbo land with the Paleo Hebrew word Gad on it. And in 1917, the British discovered about 500 feet below family the soil on the palace grounds, a solid bronze star of David, indicating that Igbo people may have migrated from the ancient city of David. To commemorate this event, Nigerian kobo coins were minted with a star David on it. Look at this rich history, man. Chino Agdib and All Things Fall Apart. This man, the great Igbo storyteller, wrote fictitious stories based on facts of Igbo life and customs. I parallel such customs to that of the Israelites from his most well-known work, Things Fall Apart. Though fiction, Things Fall Apart, is full of insightful things regarding Igbo culture. Anoka Anakua, father, said that whenever he saw a dead man's mouth, he saw the folly of not eating what one had in one's lifetime. Judaism teaches it is a sin not to enjoy what God has given us to enjoy. Anoka loved the song the children sang to welcome birds back to the area. This is like the chant, like the blessing Jews pronounce in Judaism over various natural events, such as birds returning in the spring. Breaking the kola nut is like breaking bread in Judaism. Akoi, a friend of Anoka, said, "He who brings kola brings life." And bread in Judaism is regarded in like manner. Among the Igbos, the art of conversation is regarded very highly, and proverbs are palm oils with which words are eating. Jewish rabbis and sages feel the same way, and the Proverbs of Solomon and much of the Talmud, especially the Pirkei Avot, is virtually all proverbial sayings that teaches us great and essential things. Fortunately, among the Igbo people, a man was judged according to his worth and not according to the worth of his father. This is in Deuteronomy 24:16. The father shall not be put to death for the children, neither shall the children be put to death for the father. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin. Professor Eki also said that the Igbo elders wore beards, as do the elders in Judaism. The oracle of the hill and the caves is similar to the consultation of the Urim and the Thummim of the Levitical priests. The 7-year locust came, and the village of Anophia was excited because they knew they could eat them in the Torah. It deemed such insects as okay to eat. And we see Yahshua, aka Jesus, the Messiah's cousin, John the Baptist, who was the priestly house of Levi, ate locusts too. Where? Reading in Leviticus 11 and 22, Matthew 3 and 4. There is a fine spoken of a man whose cow got loose and trampled a neighbor's crop. This is likewise found in the Torah. If anyone graze their livestock in a field or a vineyard and let them stray, and they graze in someone else's field, the offender must make restitution from the best of their own field or vineyard. Exodus 22 and 5. A man's life from birth to death was a series of transition rites, which brought him nearer and nearer to his ancestors. This sentiment is an equally shared belief in Judaism. Drinking horns and mentioned quite often in the book, and it's no coincidence that the horns in Judaism were used to do what? Drink from and hold oil. And at that time used to pour out what? I always talk about what? Pour out that what? Libation to the Lord. When Akanuku came to his mother's land in exile, he was welcome. 7 years later, he departed, and the elders blessed him when they broke Kola. We read from Genesis on to today that in Judaism, children and relatives are blessed when they leave a community and strike out their own land. Likewise, if someone is exiled, they go to their mother's people, as Jacob went to Laban, his mother's brother, when running from his brother Esau, right? It's also, brothers, a film adaptation to Things Fall Apart. And you can see young men and women and children bow in respect to their elders when greeting them, especially when Akanuo brought his family before his uncle. You see in scripture that Moses bowed before Jethro, his father-in-law, in Exodus 18 and 7. Jacob and his children bowed before his elder brother Esau, Genesis 33 and 7. And Joseph bowed before Jacob, his father, Genesis 48 and 12. This is most definitely an ancient Hebrew custom we see demonstrated in the Igbo culture. You see? Okunuo, for accidental homicide, was exiled for 7 years in his mother's homeland, which is similar to, as we have previously mentioned, Jacob running to Laban, his mother's people. And we see this similar in concept in the cities of refuge in Numbers 35. You know, the Igbo dress. Watch this. The traditional Igbo way of dressing is more Hebraically authentic than the Orthodox Jews in the West, who adapt their dress from the 17th and the 18th century Europe. No disrespect. Like when you see Amari Stoudemire and you see how Amari Stoudemire dressed, no disrespect. But I say, why do melanated people go to other cultures and dress other cultures and not learn about your culture? No disrespect to no one. They dressing like from the 17th and the 18th century Europe. That's what these brothers and sisters are looking like. But I firmly believe and have encouraged Igbos to reclaim their cultural dress, as it's more authentic than that of the modern Jew today. The robes are like the types Israelites used to wear in ancient times. The red chieftain cap. The red chieftain cap. The bonnet or the turban. I told y'all it's always going to come up. And then we let people that act like culture don't matter because they have a motive. We don't deal with that. And the black striped stocking cap served as one's kippah or yarmulke. kufi or bonnet or head covering, and the ojo, the ojo, the fringe shawl of the Igbo carries the same weight and meaning as the Jewish talit. You know, the prayer shawls that I have. Read it in Numbers 15, 37, and 41. In a book by Remy Iona, Remyiiona. The book is called The Igbos, Jews in Africa, on page 73. It tells us that the Igbos have always worn a tallit-like garment and have always worn caps. And the Igbo women, unlike those of other tribes, have always been very modest and covering themselves, specifically their chests, with a wrap. Even the linguistic evidence, a linguistic culture evidence of Israel, Gad, Erie Igbo connections is the names which people bear which honor God. Watch Hebrew. Watch this. Hebrew titles of God. YHWH. Yah, El, Elohim. Eli, Elihu. Eli, Yahu. Yahu equals Elijah. Equals Yah is my God. The Yah, Yehosua. Joshua, Yeshua. Yahweh, Yahweh saves. Shemuel, SH''MU-EL. Samuel equal God hears. Ariel, Ariel. Ariel, Ariel. El, I'm showing you this, equals Lion of God. Now watch this. We go right to the Igbo. Names, titles of God. The Chi, or the Chai, or the Chukwu, or the Chiniki, or the Saniki. Sidi, CH. Stay with the CH. Chu, or the Chakwudi equal there is a God, or God exists. The Chizbad, or the Chizabi, or the Chizaba. The Chizaba, the CH is CHIZOBA equals God save. The Chidinma, the CHIDINMA equals God is good. The Chibuz, the CHIBUEZE equals God is king. Chakwu Emik or Chakwu Emika equal God has done great things. Are you seeing this lining up? This, as well as many other words which are still in the Igbo language, can be traced back to the Hebrew language. The parallels be the same. Jews underwent the infamous persecution of the Jews during the many pogroms and Holocaust of World War II. The Igbos, the same type of Holocaust during the Nigerian Biafran War, the 6th of July, 1967, the 15th of January, 1970, where many Igbos were slaughtered by the surrounding people of Nigeria. Remember? The Igbos' history uncannily parallel much of Jewish history in so many ways. I don't think it's a coincidence. The late great General Emeka Agwuku himself compared the Baframs, the Igbos, to Israelites. The Israelites are hardworking people. So are we. They suffer from pogroms, so have we. In many ways, we share the same promise and the same problems. Even when you look at Moses compared to Ojukwu, the OJUKWO, and compared to Moses, Moses, and Ojukwu, when you compare their background, same background. Egyptian royal prince Moses, Nigerian royalty prince, killed an Egyptian, defended the Igbo man's honor at King's College, royal educator Oxford, went into civil service. All the stuff the same. So I just be wanting brothers and sisters to understand what's really going on with history and the Bible and not be afraid of history. Right now, it's so-called misnomer Black History Month. Brothers and sisters, you're all in the biblical Bible. You're all in history. It's time to educate ourselves and come together and let other people fight fights. It's not our fight. especially if we can have a civilized conversation, especially with, just imagine, as I'm saying right now, as I'm speaking to you from love, and we can sit down with all other scholars, elders, from James Small to all other scholars, and even other preachers and teachers, and to have this conversation and to see what's the solution, because this is not complex. The problem is us as a people are not willing to come together. It's that plain, especially when it come down to who we are as a people. When it come down to reparations, we have to agree on law. We have to remove feelings, and we have to base things on what we can prove, and that's the only way. And we can't be taking sides, because we proven through history what this all about. So once again, I tell my brothers and sisters, it's always on us. This mission is our responsibility. Just like I tell a lot of my friends and families, hey, now today we know. It's our responsibility. If it's just what it is. It's nobody else's responsibility to teach our children. And when we send them out in the world, and we know, and not to be able to sit down and structure that and teach that culture from within and make it others' responsibility, it's not anyone's else responsibility anymore. Even for our teachers and our preachers that we know, it's okay. What we're going to be teaching, what we passing down today. I hope not just marching. I hope not just a whole bunch of gospels and afraid to pull out your culture and your history, what the Bible says, and be afraid of your culture and strip yourself down just to fit in. I'm telling you, man. So, once again, I'm just here to resurrect teachings and history. And I hope, it don't fall on deaf ears. We the people of all historical books. It's been proven biblically. And for a misnomer black man or anything on today that that has a disrespect and a hateful thing and to come to ask you, do you believe in the Bible? Do you believe in the Bible? Like that's like an oxymoron. Like, what do you mean? And then turn around and talk about history, but don't want to talk about this and just to give your history and just to give it all away. Like, and promulgate this has nothing to do with none of your ancestors, and no one looked like you, no one created, no one written, none historically, nothing. And I showed you Islamically, historically, from European scholars, showed you what was in India. Showed you the African elites in India. Been showing you this, showing you professors that's speaking like this, that traveled all over the world, showing you what's in the Old Testament, the New Testament, historically. This ain't no disrespect to no one else. I put it back on all our teachers. Like Carter G. Woodson said, the miseducation of the Negro. It's our preachers and our teachers. And then I go back to what Stephen Coakley said. No disrespect to my brothers, but the Greek is a fraud. It is. It's no disrespect, because if all that stuff was good, why are we still in the same progress? If Freemasonry was good, no disrespect to no one. I love all my brothers, but if Freemasonry was good, after you do all the pageantry, why the kids not into it? Because if you got brothers coming all over and it's just a big ceremony and people dressing up, what's the good that's going on in the community when you have brothers in the community that's Masons or fraternities? What's up? We should have the same motive. What? I would hope. And if you got something good you don't want to add value to, so we just going to stay in a secluded group and then sit in the background. Because that's what's happening. That's what's happening, and people don't like the truth and don't like to say it and don't like to be specific in what they doing and be honorable to what's going on. You see? Because as we continue to teach anything and as we continue to go, anybody that's not teaching from the perspective today, which need to be brought out, which need pride, which need to be resurrected in the misnomer black man, I don't. It's clearly hard for me to see what the mission, because it's just like, and peace be among to all the older men preachers and things. I got love for all of them, but now, what about now? And that's why I be asking all my brothers and sisters that's in communities and even people that we know in families, they might be our age and they Christian and they Muslim and they this and that and the other. And I say, okay, well, what's the ultimate goal of your what you trying to do in a nutshell? Is it because brothers don't have a mission? I say it can't be just for a specific group of people. When you're talking about, especially when the conversation family is about reparations, how is that? And so we have to agree on some things, and that's where I'll leave it at that, man. And I say until we able to agree and understand on some principalities, to understand that it is one nationality, many cultures, and accept that, and then teach from the right perspective with love and ask questions from love and say, well, this. People saying that we this black and this, and they saying that they know law, and then when we bring out law and all this, it's like that's not even half true. And a lot of our brothers and sisters are Freemasons, and so no disrespect, and some of them can tell a little bit of truth, but they're not gonna go all the way with it. Why? Because a lot of brothers have took an oath, and it's no disrespect to nobody. Is an oath is a not tell the truth, because if you're not a part of that group, you considered dumb and blind and profaned, and it's no disrespect. That's just an oath. That's promulgated. It's no disrespect to no one. It's no disrespect to no one. As I just broke all this stuff down to my brothers and sisters, as I just broke down the Igbo and the Hebrew, as I just broke down all that history, no one can be upset at these revealing things. You know? Somebody hit me up. I'm sorry. Man, I be up all night because I do a lot of my work at night. Like I be telling people, I know we all work different shifts, but I used to drive far all over the city of Arizona seeing my clients. Now all of my work is just, how can I say, risk troubleshooting, if that's a good word. But here it go, y'all. Here it go again. It be right in our face. I'm sorry. It be right in our face. It be right in our face. And these brothers be out here promulgating something that's don't even make sense. Because I ask people, who is your teacher? This is no hate. This is no nothing. These are from professors. When I'm going to continue to dispel the fallacy, when brothers be talking about the Bible and all this is some European this and that and the other, and I've been teaching you and I've been teaching scripture. How are you going to say you're more, and then you don't understand that you're from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood? And I only stayed and I only went through. I got close in chapter 2. I ain't even go past chapter 2, family. Look at all this. How it's easy, and I stay right in the Bible. I don't have to go out to biblical scriptures to explain who you are. You see? But we let others separate us and use religion to do it. The black sons of Abraham, how we broke all that down. Ishmael, the 12 sons of Ishmael. The story of Amashah, King David's Ishmaelite nephew, the story of Hagrites and the Hagarians, the story of Arabians, the story of Geshem, the Arabian. Chapter 3, the six black sons of Abraham and Keturah, the story of Medea, the labels of the Midianites and the Ishmaelites, the story of Job, the black Midianite, Jethro, Moses, the black Midianite, father-in-law, the story of Habab, Jethro's black son, the story of the black Midianites, the black Amorites, the Moabites, and the Balaam and Moses, the story of the black Midianite curse, the story of the black Midianite versus Moses, the story of Heber, the black Kenite, and Jael, his wife, the story of the black Menites versus Gideon, the story of the black children of the east, the story of the black Menites among the Jews, and I'm saying black for speaking point, the story of Heman and Ethan, the black Israelite psalmists, the black Kenites became the black Rechabites, God's example to the Jews. I can go on and on and on. Chapter 4, the black sons of Esau, aka Edom, the story of Isaac's Edomite prophecy, the story of Almech, the black grandson of Esau, the story of the black Amalekites. Okay, yep. The story of Isaac, the prophecy, right? I mean, just correct me if I'm wrong. I gotta charge my phone, my charger up. Hold on. Sorry about that. I got a little more time. I got a little more time, y'all. I got a little more time. And we out of here. Let me see if I can plug this up. I don't want this to die on us. There we go. I think that worked. Yep, it worked. All right. Just want to show this to you, your family, so you can know. Chapter 5, the black sons of Israel. So all this stuff that I've been saying, and then as we showed the Igbo. So, hey man. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say, man. You know, like I said, sometimes it'd be, okay, I got you, bro. It'd be like talking on deaf ears. Okay. But I invite everybody to Adapt class in Sunday school to be my private guest. On StreamYard to be with my brothers and sisters. My door is always open. You know, I always ask brothers, is there any questions that brothers out here have? Because this is the place to ask these questions. I'm not a know-it-all, but I know what I can know, what I know. And I'm not going to tell you what I believe because my belief can be based on a lie. I'm going to tell you what it is. If not, I'm not going to say it. And if I don't know, we can research it together, you know, to make sure we both are right, no matter how we feel. Because that's what we're supposed to be doing, you know. That's what we're doing, proving all things and hold fast to what is good. And so I ask all Moors as we close, this is the place we should be able to remove truth and falsehood. This should be a place where we should be able to really start being honest and cleaning ourselves up and saying, yep, that's true. I almost got caught up in that, or saying I know groups have done that. So we don't have to say specific names, but we can say in generalities. And when you see what's happening in generalities, you know not to even go that way. Or if people come to you with that, you can call it out. And this is what I tell people, like I'm saying, just because you are Moor and you so-called know who you are, it's not no special badge. It don't come with no line of credit. It don't come with no get out of jail free card. None of those things that you think understanding what more science is about has nothing to do with. Having a fez hat means nothing. Standing with your feet out means nothing. It's nothing. Canceling corporate debt. All that stuff is fallacy. All that stuff is criminal stuff. All that lying accredited, all that stuff is false. It's a pyramid scheme and a Ponzi scheme. That's all. That's what it all is. And we should be able to talk about that. Your ID ain't attached to nothing. Your social security number, all that fake $1 million stuff. If that's the case, ask yourself this question, brothers and sisters, from with love. Ask yourself this honest question. If that's what the truth, I tell you right now, if you listening to me, research Roger Elvick and tell me what you get. And after you finish reading who Roger Elvick is and that movement, and then you research the Paradigm Group and what those people did, tell me, does it sound familiar what you see these sovereign citizens, oxymorons, Negroes with feathers on doing today? Tell me, is that's not the same thing? If you try to come up with something that's different, then you have a problem. And you just as guilty as those others that's promulgating that. Because this don't take no rocket science to tell you this stuff is a fallacy. And now on social media, you have people speaking about this like this is real. You have people that talk about they in health and herbalists talking about their social security number is attached to this. You got brothers that's known for eating watermelon and losing weight on the internet talking this whole bunch of stuff about some fake stuff and social security. I'm like, is these people agents or something? Because that's fallacy. That they done got this whole bunch, and then you got other groups that be having classes. I know who these people are. Only thing happened is they done got fat. One of the brothers used to be in Vegas acting like he in music producing. Only thing now, he just got fat. His name the same. And they all come with that same scam. I'm trying to tell you. Take my course. How you follow this? It's a scam. And nobody want to talk about it. All you got to do is watch JT Pocket Watchers. Go on YouTube and pull up JT Pocket Watchers and just type in anything you want. You can pull up the fake Ponzi scheme Black Wall Street. Pull up the brother, the Muslim brother, and see that scam. Pull up all the brothers. Pull up the brother now with the scam. Just pull them all up. You're gonna see them all. All the people on the internet that they be saying, take my class. I don't care if they male or female. Scam. I'm telling y'all. And that's why I said I'm not gonna let nobody mix that with more science. Not with me. We're gonna stand on what it is at all times. Because if all this stuff was truth, why people don't tell the truth of all these brothers that went to jail for all this stuff? Like Peace Big Man, the brother sold. When I show y'all the Morris Consulate book, the brothers in the front went to jail. The brother is deceased now. He was people Grand Sheik in Chicago, whatever. But if Morris talk about they don't pay taxes, then how can you have not only you and other people file taxes, fake taxes to defraud the government, and then you go to prison if none of this stuff is illegal, if you don't pay taxes? Do you understand what I'm saying? And people don't talk about none of this stuff. Like people are untouchable. Yeah, to a whole bunch of idiots. Do you see what I'm saying? Like it don't make sense. And people act like we can't talk about this. Yes, we can. We should be speaking about this. We should be standing up on this. We don't have to say a specific name. We can say in general, if anybody doing that, if anybody think that they some sovereign citizen, that's an oxymoron. How do anybody today with any tittle of brain, and you call yourself a leader and a teacher, teaching people that they some sovereign citizen? Why would you teach that? Why would anybody that understand the tittle of a law would teach somebody that they a sovereign citizen? That's an oxymoron. No way you can be a sovereign and a citizen at the same time. If anybody think they some sovereign citizen, prove it with love and with understanding lawfully. You can't. And if you try to prove it or come up with a whole bunch of pseudo stuff, it just make you look as stupid as you look. Because how can any individual go around and promulgate some sovereign citizen stuff? How? I'll wait. And these brothers that say canceling corporate debt and all this stuff, that's some Roger Elvick stuff. That's where these brothers got this stuff from. The Constitution ain't never changed. All this stuff is criminal behavior. And Negroes that do it with feds on it is just getting everybody caught up. So watch me show you the RICO law. Because they use the internet to catch people. On the internet, they got the Internet Task Force. So when all these so-called people on the internet is act like they teach in classes to show you how to overthrow the government, and you give them your information, they might have a code word to say, I want to learn, or whatever it is. And then you go into the comments, and everybody on there got their email, and you look at the comments, and everybody on there, man, I need to get that class, I need to teach that, and giving their information. That's a whole database. Now you got a whole bunch of people that's willing to to commit fraud. Got a whole database. I'm trying to tell you, and you're not thinking about that, and I'm showing you that that's illegal, and we still do this stuff, and none of these people know these people on the internet. And when I show you that that ain't how you do things, clearly, and then I say I sum it all up and say that's some Roger Elvick stuff. And then when you research Roger Elvick, you tell me what happened. Have anybody researched who Roger Elvick is yet? And what happened? Do anybody know? I bet you the average brother that's promulgating that stuff don't even know who Roger Elvick is. I bet you the average brother out here more that's promulgating that Cyrus your name and all this don't even know who Roger Elvick is. I guarantee you that. And that's what's happening right now with this poor science stuff. Have you looked it up, Brother Ron, and see who Roger Elvick is? So brother can start telling these people to go on with all that stuff. You see these people got conferences, they got women. I don't care if a person can wear a suit. They're sitting up there telling you what to do. And it's connected to this. Or then tell them to open up their portfolio. And all you got to ask these people, let me see what you did. This stuff is so laughable because people, it's like barbershop talk. It's like a person that's telling you, you can do this, you can do this. Okay, if I can do it so much, if I have all this and you say you the same and I'm the same as you and I have this ability, that's like, show me the money. Show it. That's all a person got to do is just show it. It's like, okay, show me. Just show me. I don't need to take your course. Do it for yourself. Do all the stuff that you say instead of all this talk. Because see, what people don't understand is know how to catch words. Because when one of the brothers was talking about some stupid ass passport, excuse my candor, he was talking about some world passport, and he did say Mos Def got caught out of the country with that. So if you want something that it'd be hard for you to get back in the country, and it come from y'all got to see who even created the world passport. That's why I be laughing at people that just be doing stupid stuff when people on the internet. I said, here it is, Mos Def was stuck in a certain area with that stuff. Yeah, brother Ron, absolutely. Mos Def was stuck with that goofy passport. And brothers be always trying to go against the grain. Why you want to I want to get a world passport? Get a regular passport. What are you talking about? Do you see? And all people got to do is bring this stuff up to people with all this crap and be like, man, go on with that stuff. Go on with that stuff. I've been around the world and back again a million times. And then when them brothers come with that Ponzi scheme or that pyramid scheme, they ain't even smart as Bernie Madoff. These brothers ain't even smart as Bernie Madoff. I'll break it all down. I know the scam. Only a God man can destroy a charlatan with that scam. Just like when they become with that Ponzi scheme and that pyramid scheme, that come from this wisdom, the influencer. I got the books to show you. So when they come with that crap, the reason why you ain't this, because you ain't taking their program, I'll break their whole scheme down to them. They'll be walking away like little puppy dogs. I know how this is. See, a charlatan can stand in front of a person that know the tricks of the trade and honest. That's why we stand up right against BS. We stand up right against the bull crap. Freely. And I'm telling people, I said, it's all a sham. These brothers ain't smart as Bernie Madoff. Talk about take your class. I told people a long time ago, it don't be no disrespect. I know brothers and professors and multi-leaders that graduated from Harvard, and they real name, and they real name. Like a brother, what's the brother name that was debating the European Christian? I forget his name. I know that ain't even him. He didn't graduate from Harvard. And then these people be acting like they been dealing in Bitcoin magically because they talking a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo, and they jump right into Bitcoin. They get a whole bunch of group of people to try to invest in something that's a fallacy. I'm telling you, it's no disrespect to no one. If people making these $1 million, man, don't y'all know, hey man, they wouldn't be coming to a whole bunch of poor people. You would be in other areas doing these things, dealing with people that have the money, that understand about investment, that understand about the assumption of risk, that understand about, okay, what's my ROI going to be, blah, 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 blah. Not just excited seeing the dollar, because that's not how things work. Especially investment, especially Bitcoin, especially Forex, especially in anything that somebody telling you is a guarantee on your return. Anybody talking guarantees in investment, you should run off the top. It's a fallacy. I told y'all, only when you look at these individuals, only thing difference is they either got skinny or they got fat. It ain't nothing different. Some ran to the church with that mumbo jumbo, and you will see them on church platforms talking at real estate and talk about pay for your leisure stuff. You will see them in those areas with these mega churches on these programs talking that mumbo jumbo stuff. You will see them in those arenas conning other people. It's just a circle, but you ain't gonna come to me with that crap. I'm telling you what it is. You can't be mad at what I'm saying. Yes, Brother Hodge, that's that Roger Elvick, that sovereign citizen movement. And that's what these Moors mixing with more science. You can't be no sovereign, no citizen. It's an oxymoron. Now what? So anybody that you know that's a Moor coming with that and promulgating that stupid stuff, you should run. And I just gave a schoolmaster. I ain't even gave all the cases where Moors be talking that stupid consular court, stupid stuff. And when I give the true facts, the scholarship, when I show you if a Moor kill a U.S. citizen or if a U.S. citizen kill a Moor, that Moor want to be judged in the same parameters as that U.S. citizen. It ain't no special law. You ain't overthrowing no government. Don't no Zodiac laws override nothing. That's why I be laughing at these Moors. They be found incompetent. Every last one of them when they come with that crap. I'm trying to tell people. Just like with them brothers, the Moors that got caught a long time ago. Look, I keep telling people, these brothers lead people in a burning house. These brothers didn't get, hey man, stuff be public information, free information, dot numbers, Information Act. I'm telling you what I know. When you start looking at things and be like, oh, this was a sham from day one. Yes, a straight up sham, a straight up setup. But people don't be wanting to tell the truth. Man, people better start telling the truth. But we be listening to people that's bums and sovereign citizens and those militia Negroes that be talking about they want to overthrow the government. They the same as those European ex-militia people that's mad and want to overthrow the government. It's TV shows about that. CSI had a TV show about the European militia, talking the same stuff how the sovereign citizen Moors talking. Same shit. Doing the same exact thing, but they ain't telling them they no foreign national with that stupid stuff. They ain't saying that. You know what I mean? And what the hell is a foreign national? None of them, nobody can even explain this stupid stuff to you. And if you're a foreign national, where your consulate? It can't be from somebody you met on the internet. It can't be somebody you just met on the internet that make you some stupid paper, because if that's the case, you can make your own. Just like the people talk about some Moorish travel documents that they got for some individual, some group, China stuff, and I said, okay, do you think that make any sense? If that's the case, you can do your own. If they done that, why don't you do your own? What do it mean if you can get out? If people can get out of the country with these things that people make, this stuff that I call cosmetics, then what did that tell you about the world? Just like I tell you, anybody that's promulgating some world passport right now, Brother Hodge, or anybody listens to me, if they promulgating that, telling you to get that, tell them to go out of the country with it. Tell them to pull that out and go out of the country. Don't have them do no fake videos when they in the airport and show that at work and put that shit in their bag like it's a gift and then pull out their real passport. We ain't talking about that. Tell one of these cronies that be promulgating that stuff to take one of them with that world passport that they be promulgating and go out of the country with it to the continent of Africa somewhere and see what happened. And they ain't gonna tell you what happened with Moss death. I'm telling you, man, you cannot be mad at me. How long have I been going? Dang! I gotta get out of here, man. I've been going for 2 hours. Yep. I gotta get out of here at noon. But I'm only going around the corner, so it don't take me but 5 minutes to get to the library. But I told y'all, Morris better start telling the truth. Morris better start telling the truth. So I'm out of here, man. I love everybody. Like on Inspector Gadget, this message will blow up in 10 seconds. I mean, what can anybody say? We got to stop all this criminal stuff. All this fake stuff. Oh, I can show you how to file this. It's fraud. You're going to go to jail. I'm telling you, big facts. And I can say way more. But I'm only going to give piece by piece by piece by piece. It's just like I close with this. In the state of Florida, squatters have no rights. Look what I'm saying. In the state of Florida, squatters have no rights. So I know a whole bunch of Moors. I ain't going to embarrass them because I'll be waiting for them to say something. They in Florida thinking they can go squat in people's houses. And I know, and the people they squat in the house, they ain't going to get no eviction notice because they know law. I'm just telling you what I know. They called me, and these not even Moors. They said, brother, we seen you, blah, blah, blah. Somebody told us to call, boom, 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 boom. And I said, that's not how Moors roll. And I said, what's going on? And these is brothers and sisters. And I got the video, too, of the task force kicking the dough in, dragging them out by their hair. But anyway, I tell people, squatters have no rights, especially in the state of Florida. What people doing when they do that, they're just like, you can claim anything. Oh, yeah, I found it. That ain't how things work. You can't find nothing. You ain't just gonna go squat and talk about this found. How you know? And then because something might not be livable, a person might own it. They still might be up on the taxes. You know what I mean? You have to see if the house on back taxes or anything and do it properly. If it's back taxes or the way to get it, do the city let you get it and fix it up with a certain time, all these things. But if things are owned, what I'm saying, squatters have no right in the state of Florida. So if I own property or I'm dealing with a person and they just go in there and talking about they found it or they hear, as squatters do, I don't have to go get an eviction notice because I don't have a contract with you. What you done, you done broke in this property. And it's something totally different. And that's how Negroes be getting caught up. I'm telling y'all, I know people that, I'm just telling you, there's so many ways to get caught up when more say that they don't have to do this and have to have a license and drive and all this, but then they register their cars and all these things. And then they say they got the right to drive, to travel and all this. I said, yeah, by bus, on horse and all that. When you use your mental, would you want your kid driving a car on the highway? Just use this as your mind. Forget all the other stuff. This is my land. Would you want a young kid or someone that don't have the skills to drive a vehicle driving on the highway? What time is it? Oh, yep, I gotta get out of here in about 15 more minutes. Would you want someone driving on the highway like that? And so that's all I wanted to share with people, man, as I had time today. Moors, we gotta wake up. Brothers that's been following us for years, come along, Why would you want a drunk to say, I don't need a driver's license? Hey, Brother Ron said, why would you want a drunk to say, I don't need a driver's license? That's what I'm saying. A person that be drinking and you see their cars always tore up, I wouldn't want that person on the road. Because I understand you not for hire. I understand all that stuff. I get these things, brothers and sisters. But what I'll be saying, this safe place is for all the brothers and all the Moors that we be sitting on the internet, that people been watching all over, that our mom, that our dads, this is the space where we can be like, no, that's not true. No, that's not true. No, that's not true. And we do it from the right place. and we can see what happens. Because anything that's good for you should not get you in trouble, should not have you in jail, should not have you worse off than what you were before you start dealing with any crony with some feds on calling themselves a sheep. See, this is what I'm saying. When my brother said, you gotta leave, yeah, man, I got to. I told him I'll be there at 1 o'clock. What time? And it's 12 o'clock, I think. And I've been going for an hour, 2 hours. I'd rather do this than watching TV. But I need my people's support. I want y'all to come to class. I told y'all, brothers is not gonna tell the truth. They're not gonna tell the truth what this science about. That's why they're afraid to wear their fez. That's why they won't come around and all that, because they've been doing criminal stuff. And I've been telling people, none of this stuff is true. All the Moors that was talk about they getting ready to go train, look what happened to all the Moors. Look what happened to all these people that say they can do this. Look what happened to all these group of people that say they can nationalize you and look at all these people doing the COVID that say they can do this. The Moorish consulate and all this with that bald-headed man. Look at all this fake stuff and look at what's happening today. Come on, family. We can do things the right way. From day one, I've been teaching the same way. We can learn the right way, especially if people been following me for years. Especially if Moors don't have no literature and none of the books that we gather and compile and none of the research. Come on, man. You get this stuff for pennies of a dollar. All the stuff I've been illuminating, teaching, showing you your culture, it's our responsibility, brothers and sisters. This is what I'm saying. It's our responsibility to take the time to do this, no matter what your schedule is. My schedule is different from everybody else's. I'm 48. Like I tell people, I try to just, I'm not no know-it-all, but I know what works. I know what works, and I know what two or more come together, we can do mighty things. And I know we can't blame our parents, and our parents did us a jest. Now it's time for us to gravitate to things, because we are the future. And we have to spread this, man. And so I just give, like I said, honor to Moors, man, that come on in, man. Come on in, that, like for real, like come on in, especially if you're more, share this. And then you're gonna see people ego. You're gonna see why people, how we doing, we comparing and contrast. Because after everything going on, they still got a brother against brother. Sad. Still today, you got Drake against Kendrick Lamar. You got Big Meech and Rick Ross against 50 Cent. All this stuff, and it's all brothers combating. That's sad to me. You know that and if you look at that, that's what's making everybody day. Always what? The death of the Black Messiah. Still what? The Jedi mind trick. What? Make you fight each other and use little subliminal messages. I'm telling people, man. And then us as Moors, we should be promulgating this because one, we got time. We should be coming together. We should be standing on truth like that's not true, especially biblically, especially for our kids. We all in the Bible. I've been showing this. I just did a whole lecture of 2 topics from love. If people don't have these, and that's when I'll be telling people, if y'all don't have these documents that I'll be sharing, that years of study and years of academia that I've took the time to share with people, like my professor said, you done the work. This is from no biasness. This stuff is from PhDs. The research that I've done. Look at this. This stuff that I share, this scholarship. This scholarship. It's no hateful things. And then I get to go and lecture this to people that don't look like me. You know what I mean? That's the part that be hurting my heart why I jump on here, and I'm just got to be honest, and I'll be on here for an hour or 2 because I don't watch TV all day. I work out, I do the same thing. But when I go lecture to the college and to the library with groups of people that want me to study, and I take all these books and sell, I might go with 30 books and they all be gone. And when I lecture, I share the same stuff with y'all that I'm talking about right now. You know, and I'm like, come on, man. It's only biblical. So I'm out of here, man, once again. But anybody got anything they want to share or add before I leave? What time is it? Yep, 2. Woo. Truth has no size, man. You're not no sovereign citizen. That's an oxymoron. You can't be a sovereign and a citizen at the same time. Anymore talk about canceling some corporate debt. Ask yourself what corporate debt you have. What corporate debt do you have? Ask yourself what corporate debt do you have? Nobody go get nothing and then try to say, oh, I know some law to have me not paying this. And then you went into this contract as a willing obligor. I'm telling you, none of the stuff is going to work. You went into that contract as a willing obligor. I'm going to tell you, don't do none of the stuff. Don't do none of the stuff that a person tell you to do that they wouldn't do. None of it makes sense. Think about this. I know women lost their kids to caseworkers. I know people lost their homes, listen to these cronies teaching them that don't pay this, and they have generators in their house, and it's illegal to have a generator in the community. Why? Because the local laws and the city laws and the state laws are going to trump anything federal. I'm telling you what I know. Yeah, you can have a generator running if it's a natural disaster or if the power out for a minute, but you can't just have a generator running all the time and say you're not going to have electricity and all this. You can't do that in a neighborhood and in the community. Why? Because the local laws and the community laws and the state laws, the bylaws of the city already say what you can't do. Now, if you got your own land and you're living somewhere off in a homestead, then yes, but in a neighborhood, which is bylaws, you can't. And I don't care who you think you are. I'm sorry. I don't care who you think you are. I don't care what person on the internet you listening to. They lying. And at the end of the day, after you listen to all that stuff, after you waste all that money and you drag all the court, you're going to lose. And I'm going to laugh at you. And you're going to be like, yep, he told me all this beforehand. I'll be like, I told you. I'll be like, I told you. Do you see the Amish or the Mormon fighting anything? And I tell you, the Amish, especially the Mormon, they don't do nothing with the government. Research it. My Amish homies, they don't do nothing. My Amish homie Khalid that I met at GCU, nothing they do with government. Nothing. The Mormon, nothing. So what we talking about? And they don't have no problem because they religious laws trump it. Just like I be telling y'all, the Mormon and even a lot of other, they talk about they Ephraim. Well, I just showed you what Ephraim is. If the real lineage of Ephraim is a certain people, what do that tell you? This is no prejudice to no one. I'm teaching history and spirituality and showing us who we are. It's nothing hidden, brothers and sisters. It can't be hidden if I'm talking about this stuff and I can stay strictly in the biblical scriptures. It can't be. What we have to do is gravitate to that. That's what we have to do and spread it. Because if we say we're Christians or if we Muslims or if whatever we are, this, that, and the other, you got to start seeing yourself in all this and having some race pride, per se. Not hate for no one else, but be able like, man, we all in the biblical scriptures. The Bible and the Quran synchronized. I just broke, just like when people give you those negative connotations of Nimrod. I challenge all my muftis, we're going to go back over this again in the DAP class when people be making theories of Nimrod. And when you read them documents, Nobles, read chapter 1 and a little bit of chapter 2. And then you come back to me and tell me where in the Bible do you find some negative connotations about Nimrod. Nowhere in the biblical scriptures they talk about that. But then you let people always, when it comes to melanated, it's some evil. But the Bible don't even talks like that. And read the biblical scripture. The curse of Ham don't even work like that. It was talking about land. And this is what I'm telling us as a people. We have to take something back that's ours and prove it from the biblical scriptures. This is what I'm telling my brothers and sisters. What's the anger? Because the Bible, I can prove that the misnomer black man is the father of civilization, proven by the Bible alone. That should make you feel great. And then we can trace it in history. And then every scholar is going to speak like me. Is going to show you all over the world, in Asia, in Europe, just like I've been showing. I've been showing European scholars, African scholars, what do you call itself? All different professors teaching Anglo-Saxon. You know, it's just what it is from love of what first century, what the ancient church fathers look like, all through the biblical histories and through history. And so what I'm telling brothers and sisters today as I close, man, let's do this in love. Let's love on each other. Let's have these conversations. If it's important to you, talk about it. Let's bring things back to our remembrance. I know a lot of people tell, and I have to close and say this. A lot of people say, well, brother, well, she A lot of people just don't know what you know. And I said, you would be surprised how many people know what I know, but just won't tell it because they're getting a check. You'd be surprised how many people that look like me to know it. And when I'm telling you, the Masons know what I'm talking about. Every Freemason know what I'm talking about. Greek brothers be knowing what I'm talking about. If this can be proven in first century, what I talk about all our scholars in first century history, from Carter G. Woodson, Sheikh Anta Diop, Ivor Van Sertimer, Dr. Ben, Dr. Francis Quells Wilson, Amos Wilson, Runoko Rashidi. I could go on and on. Sheikh Anta Diop, Dr. John Henry Clark. I could go on and on. So this is nothing new, brothers and sisters. If all them brothers, Bobby Hemmett, C. Freeman Hill, all those brothers that did a solid to bring people awareness, hell, even Dr. York. A lot of the things that what people dare talk about, but I don't be getting to power because I know when people get power, it corrupts them sometimes. But when you look at cases and things from unbiasedness, and if you were defending or no matter what side it is, I deal with the facts of the matter, and I look at the case because it's the Free Information Act. You can look at it. I've seen that certain people recanted. They recant. I've seen a certain people family when they were speaking as a witness, they recanted. They recant. So it's a lot of things that have to be talked about, and a lot of us just assume. But as I'm saying, brothers and sisters, this is not new. This is nothing new under the sun. And when people say this is new and this is hidden history, how can it be? How can it be? And I know Europeans know who Carter G. Woodson is, know who A.J. Rogers is. All these books are not new. All this stuff about A.J. Rogers and all this stuff is old, family. This ain't new. A.J. Rogers ain't wrote no new book. Dr. Ben ain't written no new book. John Henry Clark haven't written no new book. Amos Wilson hasn't written no new book. Dr. Francis Quells Wilson hasn't written no new book. Sheikh Anta Diop hasn't written no new book. All this stuff is old history. So for us to say something is hidden and I have some secret history, no, I don't. What I'm saying today is for our educators and our scholars, especially for our preachers. Why they not preaching and teaching like me when I'm teaching a schoolmaster, when we teach ministry and when we teach history? Why do we let people talk about some curse of Ham and some Nimrod is all this stuff evil and the Bible don't even say these things, brothers and sisters? This is what I'm saying. So I love y'all, man. And I'm out and I'll see y'all later when I get back from the library for part 2 later on today. Peace and love. I know I'm trying to cut this mug off.